Hey guys, and welcome to Knit-Grit, and today we're going to go over how to make this really adorable, one of my absolute favorite patterns of this super adorable little dinosaur. He's super easy, super quick. I made him probably in about an hour and a half. He also sits up, apparently. I didn't realize that because of his tail, which I think is really funny. Basically, we're going to make an inverse of this, so I had some maroon for scales, so he's going to be maroon with pink scales, which is going to be really interesting to see how that works. And again, these are all going to be donated. All of my Amigurumi critters are going to be donated to Comfort Cases. They're this amazing organization that gives backpacks to kids in the foster care system so that they have something concrete. Big thing that they were talking about is how they give these kids just black trash bags to keep all their stuff in, and that's not, we shouldn't be there, you know what I mean? So I feel like this organization gives them something sweet and loving that they can actually hold on to that's theirs, and I wanted to donate a bunch of my little Amigurumi guides to it so they actually have something that's homemade, actually one-on-one, like something that they can actually probably hold and cherish for a really long time. I'm going to put that down below if anybody else is interested in donating to that. Comfort Cases, it's a great organization. I've talked to the two guys that run it. They're amazing. Alright, let's get started. So to get this started, you're going to need a size 6 or J crochet hook. I'm using a Susan Bates metal crochet hook because that's my preferred. It's quick and easy. It's pretty much what I always use to make most things, except I sometimes do use my Caspian wood crochet hook, which I should probably find and get out and show you guys one day. I do work with it though. It's a nice wood crochet hook. I'm also using some polyfill. You can use all kinds of different stuffing methods, but this is what I used for this little guy. You're also going to need a darning needle to sew in all of your tails. I used 2 safety eyes because these are going to be going to kids who might be chewing on them and doing God knows what to it. So I use safety eyes because it keeps them from becoming choking hazards. I also am using the maroon Vanna's Choice yarn. Is that the actual color it's called? I think it might be like burgundy or something like that. Burgundy. Hey, look at that. I remembered something. So burgundy is a big one that we're using. You can really use 2 of any color. I just like using contrasting colors. I'm also using this pink as my scales and my tail, and that's pretty much all there is to it. I also have some white felt, which I use to cut out a little toothy grin, which you can do really anything for the face. This is just my preferred method for his little adorable face. So alright, let's get started. So to start your Amigurumi, your little dinosaur here, we're going to make a slip knot. This is how I do all of my magical rings. I then make it all nice and tight. I chain 2, and then that is basically how I make my magical ring. As I start by skipping the second chain and going back into my first, and then I'm going to put 6 single crochet inside of that first chain. Skip here, go into this, and put 6 single crochet, trying not to split your yarn like I just did. 2, 3, you'll notice that this is getting bigger, 4, 5, and 6. It's got a nice big gaping hole, but when you pull on your tail, it closes right up. This is my preferred quick, easy method when it comes to working on your pattern. So what I end up doing with this is I'm going to increase 6 stitches every single round until I get to 42 stitches. So here I put 6 stitches in here, right? I'm going to put an increase on every single one of those stitches until I get to 12. So I'm increasing 6 stitches each way. So technically I'm increasing twice right here. So put 2 in that one, 2 in the next one, 2 in that one. So I'm at 6 now. 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, 12. So that was my last stitch here. So now I'm at 12 stitches because I increased every single stitch. And after that, I'm going to increase every other stitch, because that's how, when you've got 12 stitches, you want to increase to 6 stitches and you're going to get up to 18. So you're going to single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase. So that looks like single crochet in this one, go to the next one, put one in there, and then you increase by putting another one inside that same stitch. So one, increase. So I put that one, and then I increased in the same one. So I put 2 stitches, 1, 2 in that next stitch. You can see it right there. So 1, 2, 1, 2. It's basically how I do it, is I just count 1, and then the next round it'll be 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. So here I need to put another one in there. Actually lost count. I think I'm at 17 right now. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Hey, I was right. When you do enough of these, you end up like looking at it and you're like, yeah, that looks like 17 for the most part. And what I end up doing is I'll take my tail at this point and I'll pull it through my 18th stitch. This way I can have a round marker, and that's how I do it, because I end up losing those little tiny little round markers. I can never keep a hold of them. So this next stitch, you're at 18 stitches now and you want to get it up to 24. So you're going to single crochet, increase, 1, 1, increase, 1, 1, increase. So you single crochet 2, then you increase on the third. So 1, 1, increase. So I put 1, go back into that same stitch and increase. 1, 1, I single crochet my third, and then I go back into that same stitch and increase. So I'm going to keep doing that all the way around. 1, increase. 1, 1, increase. 1, 1, increase. 1, oops, 1, increase. And my tail is right below that increase, so that's where I need to stop. So I'm currently at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So I'm at 24 stitches. I'm going to take my tail, pull it out again, and pull it through the 24th stitch, keeping track. In my next round, I go 1, 1, 1, increase, 1, 1, 1, increase. So I'm going to crochet 1, 2, 3, and then increase this 4th stitch. 1, 2, 3, and increase this 4th stitch all the way around. 1, 2, 3, 4, increase. 1, 2, 3, increase. 1, 2, 3. On the 4th stitch you increase. 1, 2, 3, and we're back at our beginning right here, so 4, and you increase to that same stitch. Take your tail and pull it through. So now you should be at 30 stitches, and you're going to do the same up until you get to 42. So you're going to get to 36 and then 42. So for the next 2 rounds you're going to single crochet 4, increase on your 5th, and then you're going to single crochet 5 and increase on your 6th until you get to 42. Then, because I feel like we're just going to keep doing the same amount of everything all the way around. Then you're going to take your little body, right around here is where you stop increasing, and you single crochet around for 10 rounds minimum. When you're done with that, I'll show you how we sew up the bottom. It's actually pretty easy. I use a slip stitch method, and I'll see you when we get to that point. So you get up to 42 stitches with your increases and single crochet around. Be right back. Okay, so now that you've done your 10 rounds, you're going to use a slip stitch method to try to go across here and make it all seamed. So what I do is I go into the It's a little hard to see because it's a darker color. I go into this right here, I do a slip stitch, make it all nice and even. So now I've got a slip stitch. Then I go into, so I went into the first stitch of my 11th, what would have been my 11th round. Now I'm going into the second stitch of that, and I'm going across right there and going through both of those. So I've got one stitch here and one stitch there. Then I'm going to take my yarn and slip stitch through. Then I go into the next stitch and the stitch that's right across from that and slip stitch through all the way down. So I'm going to keep going across and down. So I went there and now I'm here. And I'm going to slip stitch down. I'm going to do that all the way down. I just keep going here, go across until it will be my next one. Keep. Eventually you'll get it lined up so that like you can literally just push through. Right across through. Look at that. It's all nice and even. I'm gonna keep going till I get about 5 stitches, well 5 slip stitches from being done. So here, I'm gonna pull my tail out a little bit and this is where I stop. So I take a big, huge amount of, of course I get polyfill everywhere. That's what half of like the little fuzzies all over my amigurumi are. They're just like, it's either, oh hey, I've got a little bit of cat fur happening on this end, or oh hey, I've got all the polyfill. Just all of it. And I just keep shoving and shoving. And I've got plenty of room, so I've got to keep going with this because I've got so much space left. And you keep going. See how it's starting to actually take shape now. And I try to make sure I get in the corner there. And now I'm at the point where I need to start crocheting again, but I'm going to need to stuff a little bit more. So let's see what that does for that corner. It's pretty much done. I might stuff a little bit more because I don't like it when my corners are all wonky and weird. I go into it again. I go into it, I tighten it, pull through, pull through. I can get like not quite so close to it so it's actually focused. So here, I've got a little bit left, so I'm going to take this and peep it through. Same thing with this, peep through, so that it's like mostly, it still feels wonky in those corners. My corners are where I have the hardest part, like where I close off. It might not be as full as like say this corner, but it'll still be good. So here I kind of finish here, go through, go through again. And now there's only one stitch there, so I like to shove it through that stitch, slip stitch again, and then I'll chain, cut my string. So here I don't have my string, so I'm just gonna rip how I always do. That's why I've got calluses on my thumbs right there, is because I get so impatient with finding scissors. So yeah, here I've got that pretty much. You're always going to find that those little ends are going to have not quite as full. I like to squish it with my hands like this. And then, yeah, that's pretty much what you've got for the body. And next up, we're going to work on making 4 little arms and legs. So they're not 4 arms, 4 legs, obviously. It's 4 of the same pattern, making 2 arms and 2 legs, basically. I need to take a lint roller and get the rest of that polyfill off the body. So here I'm making 4 of this same pattern, and 2 of them will be the arms and 2 of them will be the legs. I just did a slip stitch, and I'm going to chain 2 and make my magic ring. Oh, there, where am I focused? There's that focus. I'm going to put 6 single crochet inside of that. So 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I've got 6 single crochet inside of that. I'm going to pull, make it all nice and tight, and then I'm going to increase up to 12. So I'm going to do 2 stitches in each of these 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And now that I've done that, I'm just going to single crochet around for 4 rounds and slip stitch off. That's really all there is to it. You make 4 of them, and that's its arm, and then next up I'm going to show you how to make the scales. So once I get all 4 limbs done, then I will show you how I make. So I basically just single crochet around for 4 rounds. It's super easy, the limbs are easy, you don't stuff them. I don't like stuffing them, I think they look silly when you stuff them. So that's pretty much all there really is to it, and I'll show you how I attach those and all that and do the scales once I'm done making all 4 of these. Be right back. So for the limbs, I finished up all 4 of them, and then I attached them to the bottom on each side and then along the 3rd to 4th round of my original work. Now we're going to work on these cute little scales. You make 3 of them, so I already made the first 2 and I attached them along the spine like you're going to. And then you make the 3rd one and you put it like right along here. And then after I show you how to do the scale, the final scale, I'll show you how I do the tail, which actually makes this little guy like sit up. Like his scale right there makes him sit up, which is pretty cute. I'm using my secondary color, and with my secondary color, I'm going to make a magical ring. If I can actually, like, I don't like making the tails too long on these ones, so I try to make them nice and short. I make my magical ring by chaining 2 with my slip knot, and then I'm going to put 4 single crochet inside of my magical ring. Then I'm going to pull my tail, make it all nice and even there. We're going to single crochet 1 into the first one there, and then we're going to increase on the second one. And we're going to do that again, getting us up to 6 stitches. So 2. So then I'm going to do that again, so I'm going to single crochet 1. And then this is my 4th stitch, so I'm going to put 2 single crochet inside of here. And it gets all kind of wonky at the very beginning because it's so tight and so weird. So my goal is to pop this out. There we go. And that pretty much does that. So now I'm going to repeat that again. So I'm going to do that from 6 stitches up to 9 stitches. So I'm going to single crochet 1, increase, single crochet 1, increase, single crochet 1, increase. So that's the end of row 2. I'm going to take my tail and actually use that as my stitch marker. And if you get confused at any point in time, I do have a written pattern PDF on Ravelry, which I'll link down below. Next, we're now on round 3. We're going to single crochet 2. So single crochet 1, 2, and then you're going to increase. So 1, and then increase. So we just did an increase on the 3rd stitch, and we're going to do that all the way until the end. So single crochet 1, 2, increase this stitch. And then you got one more, re-single crochet 1, 2, increase. And then I'm going to take my tail and slip it through, and then the 4th round is just single crocheting around. Super easy peasy. And this is pretty much the same design for the tail, it's just a little bit different. For wider, I end up expanding more with more increases. So I'm going to single crochet around this entire 4th round. And then this is the last one, and then I slip stitch into the first of what would be my 5th stitch. So as you can tell, I've got a nice, I'm gonna pull on my tail a little bit to round it out a little bit, but it's a nice pointy edge, which I'm gonna take, slip stitch off. I already chained, and I'm gonna just cut it off. Where did my scissors go? Constant struggle of my life. Take, oh, that hurt. I only got a little. Fair enough. I cut my yarn, and now I'm going to pull my tail a little bit, and then I sew him along here. And then that makes it so that it's not too close to the butt, but it also brings a bit more to the top of the head. Next, we're gonna work, after you sew on that, actually I like to cut off my tail while I'm at it, and I'm gonna actually look at it this time and not slice my finger. That'd be great. I'm gonna take this and we're gonna do our tail. So we're gonna do the same exact thing in the same first 3 rounds as we did on our last scale. We're gonna put 4 single crochet instead of our magical ring. So 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna pull on our tail a little bit. I love having this here so it's not like rolling everywhere. So we're gonna single crochet 1 and increase, single crochet 1 and increase, and then I like to flip my work the way that it's actually supposed to be going because it likes to try to invert because it's so tiny. So now here I repeat what I did just 3 more times because now we're on row 2. Increase, 1, increase, the second one, and then 1, increase, and then I like to, because that's my 3rd one and this is the last stitch of my 2nd round, I'm going to take my tail and pull it through and have that be like my reference because I just like having a reference. And next we're going to increase every 3rd stitch, so we're going to go 1, 1, 3. This is getting us up to 12 stitches because we went from 6 to 9, now we're at 12. So 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and that was 3 times. So now I'm going to take this and pull this through, and our 4th round is the same as our 3rd. So we're going to go 1, 1, 3, increase. So we're basically turning our from 12 to 16 stitches. 1, 1, 3, increase, 1, 1, 3, increase, and 1, 1, 3, increase. We're going to take our tail, feed it through, and now after that from row 5 to 9 we're just going to single crochet around and around and around and around. So when you're done with that, I sew the dinosaur tail right even across the legs. It'll fit if you put it in there the right way and you sew it the way that you want to. So I put it right along right there, and then I'm gonna sew this right here along there. I like to take the very slip stitch part of here and place it along right, like I'll actually attach it to the pink part, that way it looks like it's attached when they go. And that's pretty much it. I'll show you how I do a face right after I finish with my tail. So we're just going to single crochet around for the next 5 rounds. Alright, be right back. Alright, and that's pretty much all there is to it. Once you attach your tail and your scales, all I do is add some eyes, which are safety buttons so that they're not going to get peeled off too easily, and I add a felt little tooth jagged tooth thing, which I just cut and try to make it as jagged and wonky mouthed looking as I can. This looks like it's a little bit more inverted than I meant it to be, but it looks pretty cute still. And these are all going to comfort cases towards probably the end of the year. I'm going to make a giant box full of all my Amigurumis, so if there's an Amigurumi that you want to see that you think would look really good as a video, be sure to send us a comment and we'll look into doing that. My next videos are going to be of the Amigurumi Totoro that I've been talking about, and probably the Sylveon as well, so be on the lookout for that. Alright, hit like and subscribe to our channel if you want to see more content like this, and be sure to check out our Ravelry, which will have the pattern for this as well. Alright, bye guys!